gadaya arhate samya sambuddhaya namma sarva tathagate arhate samya sambuddhaya namma arya avalokite shoraya bodhisattva Mazadaya Makaruni Yayadam Daradara Dirdirindurunu Idridale Zale Radale Radale Kuzume kuzume varele melezede dola mabana yezava. ma bana yezova. No Da
Welcome, everyone. Alright, you're welcome. Just place and sit. You can take a cushion here if you want. Welcome for the people online also. If you wanted to open your camera, I'll be happy so I can see you. Welcome for the people online also. If you want, you can open your camera. Yes, so I can see you. Thank you, Andra. Okay, so I can see all of you. Thank you very much for coming for this meditation. People online, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. Okay, thank you. So this meditation I used to give it every year in this time of the year of my birthday, but maybe I should give it more times. Maybe this year is going to be the year that I start giving more times this compassion meditation. I wanted to start by sharing something. When I was a child, I grew up in the Christian environment, and I learned that some music is in the church, and maybe because I was a kid, I was singing that impregnates in my mind, and some things I remember up to now. And I was planning to do this Tonglen meditation in a certain way, but I became inspired by so many things that happened this week. And this music that I have in my childhood, I will read a translation, which is in Portuguese, but I will read an important part of this music that I used to sing in the church that is very interesting. And then I am going to connect this with the thinking about compassion. So this music was composed by a priest called Zezinho. Zezinho is the how you say in English? The short version for a name of Joseph. So, and he was very much into preparing things to the kids. So I think I know all his music that he did for the church because I used to sing this very much. And I am going to translate a piece of the music. The music is about a story that a kid that go to an adult and ask. He look in the eyes of the man and ask the kid, what do I need to be happy? What is needed for me to achieve happiness? And then the answer that the person gives is like that. To love in the way that Jesus loved. To dream in the way that Jesus dreamed. To think in the way that Jesus think. To live in the way that Jesus lived. To feel in the way that Jesus felt. To smile in the way that Jesus smiled. And if I do all of it, I know that in the end, I am going to be very happy. And then the kids say, okay, I understand, but maybe you can go more deep and you can say and a little bit more. And then the person repeat that it's all about to make everything the way that Jesus was making. And I was 7, 8. I was in this environment since I was 7, maybe until I was 12 years old, very much. And I remember because I listened this music, and as a kid, we don't do too much metaphysical, philosophical thinking. We try to understand by practice. And I remember myself going to the subway, and then I was looking to all that strange people, and I said, wow, what does it mean to feel in the way that Jesus was feeling? What it means to smile? And I did this practice very much when I was a child, like in a playful way. And many years passed, and I kept in the spiritual path. I went to many different traditions. And now when I look back to that simple song that was teaching a very interesting practice, I see how much knowledge was there that I could not maybe understand when I was a child, but how blessed I was to receive that when I was a child, because that gave me a kind of guideline that my mind, I was not thinking only to myself. One of the things that I learned by this practice is that when I am doing my action, I am not limited by who I am, who I think that I am. Because sometimes for example, if I am having some trouble, I'm with some challenges in my life, then I ask myself, oh, if I need to act in the way that Jesus acted, how would be Jesus in that moment acting? How would Jesus solve this problem? And even if I didn't stay in the Christian church and my spirituality developed to other spheres, other traditions, I think that it stayed very much impregnated in my mind. And this was for me something that I carried very much as my practice. And when I started investigating the subject of compassion, I started realizing many things that I was not aware. And so here comes what was this week that I saw, that it makes me reflect in which way I would do this meditation today. I had at least 2 people that came to me and say, I have a problem to love myself. Like I'm not loving, I don't love myself. You know that the Tibetans, for the Tibetan tradition, they even cannot understand how can you not love yourself? Because it's not part of their way of life that you don't love yourself. This is like part of their daily life. Of course, if you need to take care of your body, if your mind, you love yourself. But somehow, for most of us that have grown up in different traditions, we have this problem. We don't love ourselves. So how can I? And because we don't love ourselves, it's very difficult for us even to understand some practice that comes from another tradition. And one of the practice that is very difficult to understand is this one that I tried. I'm trying for many years to teach and share this practice of the Tonglen. Tonglen means give and receive. It's a practice that we are exchanging energies. And in this practice, the simple way I can give you now, this practice, is that you inhale all the pain. Can be all the pain of a person, but can be all the pain of the world. You imagine like a black cloud of all the suffering, and you inhale, and then you exhale light, compassion through all the beings. When some teachers starting bring this practice outside of the environment of the Tibetan Buddhism, they found out a problem. First, some people didn't want to practice this. They said, no, this is not for me. I don't want to inhale the pain of the others. And for other people was worse. If they inhale, they say, okay, then I'm going to be with the suffering of the other person. They didn't understand. And it's, of course, we cannot understand because we don't have this understand that the Tibetans have this philosophical basis or this, we are not grow up in an environment that by default we know that we are also this cosmic conscious, that we are also, that we have our value. We have a lot of problem of self-esteem that the Tibetans didn't have. So for them, it's easy to practice that. So how we can solve this? How we can bridge that? So here I was thinking, so in which way I can bring here? Maybe I cannot just come and say, inhale the pain. You are already maybe, I don't know, you are already so much suffering. You don't want to suffer anymore. And I say, take a little bit more. And it's too much for you. Maybe you are going to be overwhelmed. So how we can do? Many teachers found some variations of this practice. We are going to do a variation. But before doing this, I wanted to give you some way of thinking, some understanding about this practice. As I was reading in the beginning this music that I used to sing when I was a kid, one of the ways that we can have to bridge it is that we think about, sorry, my computer wants to talk with me. I don't know why. Think about, can be a person, can be a saint if you will come from the Christian environment. Think about some person that you can trust fully. Can be a person in the physical terms, your mother, grandmother, somebody that you can connect it. That's somebody that you would mirror that person. In my case, when I was a child, I connected with Jesus because Jesus in the Christian church was a kind of model that person knows how to love. That person has this perfection in his actions. So by trying to copy his ways, I also would achieve that. For you, can be Jesus also, or maybe you don't like Jesus. You can be Shiva. I have here Tara, the statue of Tara, that is the goddess of compassion also. You can think about a person, or can be a entity, a saint, a god, any image that you can connect. So think about it. And we are going to try to establish this kind of contact with that image, with that set. We are going to start to, in your daily life, you wanted to do this practice, not only here sitting in the yoga mat with the eyes closed, but if in your daily life, you wanted to practice compassion, it will be one way that you try to copy this model that you have in your actions, in the way that you talk, in the way that you refer to you other people. How you know that the practice is going a good way? One of the measures of the Tonglen, or one of the goals of the Tonglen, this meditation, is that we change our mind that usually we are attracted to things that give us pleasure and we are running away from suffering. It's not that we needed to go for suffering, but in this meditation we learn that suffer, pleasure, both are part of life. And if you run away from one, we are also missing the other. I'm not going too deep in the philosophical understanding of compassion, because I would say that takes a lot of reflection, but compassion involves that we balance ourselves in the giving and receiving, in the yin and yang, the pleasure and pain, that we can experience everything. In the Taoist way, for example, when we work on the compassion, there is many ways to do this compassion meditation. We try to balance all the 5 elements. We try to balance all the emotions in our body. When we come to yoga, some of you are doing here yoga, we learn that we try to, the compassion involved with this, not only this unconditional love from the heart, but also the knowledge that comes from Ajna Chakra. So compassion is a very complete, integral way of experience life. But since I wanted to be more practical here, we're going to do like that. Think about, I'm going to do this first part of the meditation. You try to think about an entity, can be a person that you feel that you have a deep connection. And we're going to imagine this person above of us. Imagine like this person above of us. And we are going to imagine that we are giving all the suffering to that person. And that person is bringing us light, blessings, that is healing our, anything that we needed to feel our suffering. This is going to be the first part of the meditation. So we are going to connect with this being, whatever image that we want. And then in the second part of meditation, we are going to do the traditional Tonglen, that usually is connected with the breath, that we inhale all the suffering, and you can inhale the suffering of the whole world, if you feel ready for it, or it can be of a beloved person, with a special person, or can be with somebody that you don't like too much, maybe your enemy, but you wanted to achieve a peace with that person. Can be somebody that maybe you don't go too much together. So in the second part, we are going to inhale the suffer and give light, peace when you exhale. Inhale the dark cloud of suffering and exhale light. So there is going to be 2 parts of this meditation. I'm going to guide, so don't need to worry. We're going to start in some moments. And I just need to check if the people online can hear the music that I'm going to share. So just sit in a comfortable position. I'm going to prepare here the music. You can close your eyes. So first, connect with this image. Try to visualize this entity that you feel very much that they have a perfection that you wanted to mirror. Imagine this above of your head. As I say, can be Jesus, can be Shiva, can be Shakti, can be Tara, can be your guru, can be your parents, can be your grandmama. But it needs to be somebody that you feel appreciation for, that you feel trust, And every time that you exhale, you surrender all your pain, all your suffer to this person. And when you inhale, you feel the blessings like a white light come upon you. If you are more auditory, you can say, I give it to you, all my pain. You can, like a prayer. You can imagine a dark cloud going up to this person. And when you inhale, you can inhale this white light, feeling you more energized. So close your eyes. I'm going to play a music for this part. Keeping imagining this image. For the people online, just one moment, I'm going to play the music in a moment. eyes closed. Feel this connection with this being that you felt the exchange that you could offer, that you could surrender your suffering and feel the blessings upon you. Anytime that you want, you can come back to this connection, to this meditation. Whatever you are carrying in terms of suffering, challenges, you can just trust there is always a helping hand that can help you. Now we are going to transition to the second part of this meditation, with which we are going to inhale all the suffering. And now you can imagine that if it's a person in front of you, can be somebody that you wanted to connect, that you already love, and you wanted to help. Can be somebody that maybe you don't go very much with. Can be the whole world. You are going to inhale the suffering. And as an alchemist, this energy is not going to stay with you. You're going to transform all the darkness into the light. And then when you exhale love, compassion, healing, light. If in any moment you feel not comfortable with it, you can repeat the first stage of the meditation and connect with some higher being that is supporting you. So don't need to also push you. If you feel that it's too much to inhale this suffering, just come back and connect with some being that is supporting, that is helping you. So let's move to the second part. Gradually come back, connect with your center, your heart, and perform the integration of this meditation, recalling all the moment as how you feel now. Try to feel this elevated state of mind, of bliss, compassion, joy, wisdom, love. Life is suffering, but when we can transform, when we can connect, we found compassion in the way to go through it. Let's perform the integration. gradually we can start and coming back. Taking a deep breath in and out. Start to move your fingers and open your eyes. With this, we conclude this meditation. Thank you very much for your presence, your participation. For the people also online, thank you very much. See you in the next activities here.
Would you like to say the blessing? Thank you. Yes. So we can send you the blessing.
Okay. People here want to give me a blessing.
So if you don't know the blessing technique, you just send from your heart a blessing to Lina. Okay, so closing your eyes. Let's prepare to send this blessing. Let's now have the Sahasrara. Again, when you're ready.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I have finished the presentation online. Thank you very much for the people online. You read first what is the message. Thank you. Thank you.